Hello there, I'm Scotty, you're not, and for the final time, welcome back to Dis-Cember 2023, and we saved the best for last. Saved the best for last because we are talking about Brink, Disney Channel original movie from 1998. My favorite, and quite frankly, the best Disney Channel original movie ever made. I don't care. I enjoy this every single time. How does really just do it? I've seen Brink 167 times, and it gets funnier every single time I see it. Yeah. So, yeah, there's another one I already reviewed back in the first month. We are not yawning while I'm talking about Brink. Go away. But I'm recovering it to get it updated. Yes, it's pink. Shut up. It's raspberry flavored, the blue raspberry. Let's get those juice back. Anyway, so Brink came out in 1998 on the Disney Channel. Stars Eric Von Detten, Patrick Levi's, who would end up being on So Weird a year later. Sam Horrigan, who had starred with Von Detten in the Escape to Witch Mountain remake that was in 1995. So there's something here again. Christina Vidal, who would go on to be on a Nickelodeon show, Taina. The character of Worm, the actor, would go on to be in Clock Stoppers. And of course, Walter Emmanuel Jones, the Black Ranger, who at this time had left the show and was doing other things. We also have the return of Robin Riker, who was the mom in Don't Look Under the Bed, and Katie Volding, who would also go on to be in another Disney Channel original movie, Smart House. She was often a little sister on a lot of things. She was also on Teen Angel as a little sister. Also named Katie. Wait, her name is also Katie in Smart House. She just wants to be called Katie? I don't know. So, the film itself is a loose remake or adaptation of Hans Brinker and the Silver Skates. And it tells the story of Andy Brinker, aka Brink, who is a teenager in 1998, so you can see that. I was middle school age at that point, so I was 11 years old, so, but I remember I saw this. I should finish telling the story. So, finish telling the thing. So, Andy Brinker, who is a part of a group of skaters called Soul Skaters, excuse me. Not so. They don't sew while they're skating. That's dangerous. Soul Skaters, they skate for fun, not for money. Quite in contrast is Team X-Blades, led by Val, who are sponsored skaters. They skate for money. When one of the members of Team X-Blades is hurt, there's an open spot, and Brink, wanting to help make extra money for his family, takes the spot, which causes issues, and there's the plot. So, I remember I first came across this when I saw the promo on Disney Channel back in the day. And it's another one of the infamous, I had my grandma record it for me type deals. And then when we stayed over for that weekend, because every other weekend we stayed at my grandma's house. So I stayed for that weekend, I watched it. And I have loved it ever since. It is one of my favorites. Quoting it, it's like Bill and Ted for me. Bill and Ted and Good Burger in this movie are ones I can just keep quoting. Maybe not as much as Bill and Ted. You could ask Big LT and DeGrobie about Bill and Ted, because they had it on USA not too long ago as they were getting ready to leave after NXT's. And I was just quoting it. Even Big LT's like, you can tell Scotty likes this movie. Has watched this movie a lot. Like, it's not like it's my favorite movie or anything. That being Bill and Ted, Next Adventure. But here, which is my favorite movie of all time. I know it's a weird choice, but it is. Oh, yes, weird choice. That is. I've not heard or met anyone that says that that is their favorite movie. So, like I said, we got the Soul Skaters, right? So, the movie starts with, I got a million things going around in my head, and I never really paid attention what you said, no. And now I wish that I didn't say goodbye, cause I must do you, and all I do is give, and all you do is take. I gotta look before you leave. Well, yeah, take a good look at your so-called friends, yeah. Sorry? Yeah, it starts with a song. It's a shorter version. There's only like 4 or 5 songs on the soundtrack, and a couple of them played twice. But it's okay, because I love the soundtrack. So you hear Give by the Suicide Machines here, and in the middle of the movie they play it again, and you have Sooner or Later playing here by Fastball, and then later during the street competition you hear it again. And you have Apologize, which I don't remember who the artist is, but they play it towards the middle of the film when Brink goes to see Gabby after she gets hurt, and then again during the vert competition, part of the competition, which is weird because it works when it plays when he goes to visit Gabby, because it Apologize, it really, but during the vert thing they just needed a song to pass the time, and it's there. So yeah, we established that it's almost the first day of school. The next day is going to be the first day of school. School plays a very little part in this movie because it's like that. The school is a part of it because of what happens. But, which I get it. But if they were going to spend that little time on school, why not just make the competition during the summer? Isn't that where all the skating competitions are anyway? The X Games are in the summer, right? Or is there a summer and winter X Games? I don't know. But it's just really weird that it would take place after they're in school, when they'd have to practice. So they have to go to school and then practice and all that. But just take care of. So we established things in this first scene where Brink's dad, Ralph Brinker, doesn't think that it's normal for a kid to be happy all the time. So he's, and the language barrier, like the 90s. Yo, what up, Dad? Yo, what up, fam? What up, fam? Just so you know, not everyone talked like that. I mean, I did after watching this movie. Also, I tried terribly to do my hair like his, where I could grow it out and comb it to the side. Obviously, my hair did not work that way. And even later, you see Val with his long hair and his head on backwards, and it's just like I have grown my hair out before. You've seen, how much I could grow my hair out in a few months. Well, not last year, but the year before, back in 2021 to 2022, I did the where in the winter I grew my hair out. You saw how shaggy it got, but it didn't get long. The only time it ever got long in the back really is when I was younger and we did the mullet thing. I had a mullet when I was a kid, but try to put a hat on overall, that no, it wouldn't, but yeah, he dresses the way you dressed back then. He had the loose shirt, the baggy pants, the chains and stuff. Val is the epitome of everything 90s, in the scene later where he's got that backwards hat on and the chain and the baggy black shirt and the baggy pants, and he's walking around with his hands in his pockets and stuff. That is the epitome of late 90s clothing, attire, fashion. The word fashion. But anyway, so he's running late. Now there's an exchange between him and his mom where she's like, "Did you clean your room?" He goes, "No, I'm running late." But then when he gets to the other, she's like, "Dude, chornits. Mom made me clean my room before I could leave." I'm like, "You just told your mom you didn't clean your room, so which one is it?" And so they miss the bus. But wouldn't you know it, they have skates. But Jordy is against this, and he says, well, come on, that's like 6 miles from here, or whatever. And I love Brink's response to this, where he's like, Jordy, 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 when you woke up this morning, did you tell yourself, today I'm going to talk, or today I'm going to skate? Love it. So they skate all the way down. This way, get soon. I'm gonna get under your skin sooner or later. I love the music in this. They have to get to the pit so that they can do their skating moves. Now, so I did use the skate back in the day, but me and the skates we did not get along too well. You see, I'm not going to show my feet because that will attract a different audience that I don't want to attract. But I have flat, fat feet because I am web-toed. Yes, I got webbed feet. So I have fat, flat feet. So as you can imagine, it works well with skateboard. Yeah, I had a skateboard too once we moved to the house. I had a skateboard, and I was fine on that. I wasn't no master, but I was fine. I was even good on a bike. But skates, they never made skates wide enough for my feet. So I would get cramps. I couldn't do it for long. You know, we'd do stickball, you know, like a street hockey in the entryway to our apartment complex. We do that. Eventually, though, we'd have to. I couldn't always do it because any pair of skates that I had was too small for my feet. Not because of the size, but because my feet were too fat. My feet are too wide, you know. I got cramped. My toes all swooshed together. It wasn't comfortable. But I did like skating. I just wished, you know, they had wider stuff. When they were roller skates, back in the early 90s, those worked. Because one, my feet weren't as big. But still, those were flatter because they were more box-like, you know, roller skates. But then once the roller blades came along and the wheels were not on the sides anymore, but all in a row, that's why they called inline skates, in a row, then it became harder for me to find comfortable skates. But Lord, did I try to do something. I had a helmet. Didn't always wear it, but I had a helmet. You know, I didn't know how to do vert stuff. I couldn't do an inverted 540 like Peter tries to. No way. I'd be worse than him trying to do it. I did some jumps. I think I completed a toe touch one time after trying several times to do it. Finally did it because, you know, you don't give up. First you don't succeed, try again, the touch. Of course, I still landed on my ass. But I did it. And I never did it again because I wasn't going to try. And if I was going to do a jump, I made sure I was close to the grass. Because that's what you do too if you're on a bike, fall on the grass. I got to tell my kid when he's on his bike, he'll fall on the sidewalk. I'm like, William, if you're going to fall, on purpose or not, aim towards the grass so you're not going to scrape yourself. That kid just likes to fall down. He's got a scooter and stuff that he'll do, and then he'll pretend to fall down. Which drives the dog nuts, by the way. The dog doesn't like it when you fall down. Like, I was messing with him one time. I'll get back to the movie. But I did a thing where messing around and I pretended to fall down. Oh my god, he freaked out. Started barking and whining, thinking I was really hurting him. I'm like, no, I'm fine, Coco, I'm fine. I can't play around the dog. He thinks it's real. Anyway, so they get to the pit. And so this is very confusing. Somebody noticed for the first time watching this, okay? They're there. And they start doing their stuff in the pit. And then they notice that there is a photographer from Inline magazine. Which, by the way, you have to show the audience that it's in the magazine. So the guy turns his head to the back of his head to the camera because he's wearing backwards hat. So he's like, and you see it, it's like, that is a very deliberate turn. Like the director's like, okay, turn your head so we can see it on camera. It's a very deliberate turn. Here's the thing. They're like, hey, maybe they heard about us, right? So let's just start doing our stuff and see if he takes pictures. And I was like, wait a minute. No, you're soul skaters. It's not about money, right? So why are you trying to attract the photographer that's going to take pictures of you, thus making you money? That makes no sense. But they're not there for the Soul Skaters. No. They're there for Team X-Blades, which is led by Val, who we find out his last name is Horrigan. And this seems like they were in the middle of filming, and they got to the scenes where they're doing the competitions, right? Where they say their first and last names. And someone went, "What's Val's last name?" And they went, we didn't write one. Just use the actor's real last name." That's what it seems like. So, they're doing stuff. Peter tries to do the inverted 540. He messes up. And Brink goes to check him out. And then Team X-Blade shows up. And like I said, it's Val, Boomer, who's played by Walter Emmanuel Jones, BJ, yes, that is his name, and Worm. I don't think we ever learned his real name, but they call him Worm, so that's what I'm going to call him. Who was Dito in Clock Stoppers. I want to call it Time Stoppers for some reason. Clock Stoppers. And so he says, "Hey, you mind getting lost? Mind if I kick your butt?" When Gabby says "beat it" here, I always thought it was the videotape we used to watch it on, but every version of this I've watched, so beat it. It gets squeaky. So beat it or whatever. They're like, "Oh, you're here first. You know how it is." They're like, "Yeah, but you left." BJ's using it now, right, BJ? You should have had someone save your spot. You know how it is. So, yeah, I like how Val's confident too. He tells Jimmy, who's the manager, and he's like, who is, by the way, in Critters 3. Terrible movie. Anyway, I think he dies in that. But he's like, "I'll just tell him to leave." He's like, "Do that for you?" Of course. Of course, he tricks them. They're there to do pictures and stuff and whatever. So, I never knew there was a difference between skateboarding and inline skating. But there's a big difference. It's wheels. To me, I had both, like I said. But Brink tells the skateboarders that Val and the other members of Team X-Blades, who are supposed to be famous, by the way, have ragged on the skateboarders. Call them wussies or stuff like that. And he's like, "What?" And so they confront them, stuff like that. So then the next day is time for school, right? And Gabby shows up wearing a dress. She's a tomboy, but her mom told her to wear a dress. And I love this exchange. She's like, I was like, "Ma." No, her mom's like, "In Peru, our girls wear dresses in the first day of school." And I was like, "Ma, this isn't Peru." And she said, "It is a Vicentis." So she has a change of clothes to change into, but then Team X-Blade shows up and they do the thing where they throw the shoes. The shoes are tied up and they throw the shoes on the power line. So they throw Peter's shoes, and Gabby gives Peter her shoes. So he could fit into girls' shoes, or does she wear boys' shoes? It's confusing, but they vow to get revenge on Val. So they put worms in his sandwich, which is still gross. And so they challenge him instead of a fight, like he says. They're gonna have a race with skates. Let's go back to the pit for a second because I want to talk about this. So after Brink tells Peter to get back up and try his 540 again, he runs at this ramp. And to this day, I'm still figuring out what was he planning on doing, because he's just going right at it. Like, was he gonna like do a thing with a jump? Most likely. I mean, I used to play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. That was a skateboard, but I don't know. That's just kind of connects here because Val gets in his way and he almost impales himself on the corner of it. He doesn't jump out of the way, but here they do the race. It's a relay race, and this is where we learn Brink's Achilles heel. If someone gets hurt, he'll stop in the middle of a race and go back for him. Boomer, I mentioned the Black Ranger, gets hurt during this thing. He goes back for him and abandons the race. And then later, they have the gall to say they won the race, but didn't foul, keep going, complete the race, didn't he won. Whatever. They get suspended, which his dad does not like. But, yeah, and then this is the news we get that Val is now going to manipulate Brink into joining Team X-Blades. I feel like there was a scene missing. I feel like they should have had a scene where he overhears them talking about their money problems. Now, the money problems stem from the fact that Ralph, the dad, is out of work because he threw his back out. He was a construction foreman. He threw his back out and doesn't know if he's going to be able to have his job back when everything's healed up. So he's making sandwiches. Bologna on white with extra mayo, which is a very good sandwich. Although, one thing I want to correct on the other Ralphie boy, add cheese. Always add cheese. Always cheese. Anyway, so, yeah. So he tries out, and he gets it, And they play it off, oh, no way. But he does get it. Now, he's got to do both. And Val adds on the fact that he has to, basically, you can't rag on him in public anymore. So, you can't rag on me in public anymore. You gotta be nice to me. Which Val takes pride in messing with him with. They're making a cake in home ec or something. I don't know. Somebody's seen that they do it. They're making a cake. Now he's on both teams. And to add on to that, he asks his dad about getting a job. And when he mentions skating, his dad flips out. No, you just got expelled from school or suspended from school, whatever it was, for skating. So, no. But then he's like, oh, I was thinking about you getting another job, but I got you a job at this dog washing place. His friend owns a dog washing place, so now he's got 3. And this is where we get the montage of him doing all 3 things to a reprise of Give by the Suicide Machines. Gotta look before you leave. Well, yeah. Yeah, that song, which I like. And it just shows how exhausted he is, falling asleep. Excuse me. By the way, is he doing homework? I thought he was suspended. I swear he's sitting there doing homework and he falls asleep. How's he doing homework if he's suspended? I never got suspended, so I don't know how it works. I was a culito boy. But anyway, I know. Nerk! Yeah, whatever, shut up. So, yeah, eventually it all falls apart because Brink pretends to be sick, which is very obviously fake, but Peter buys it. And he says, no, you guys should session instead of going to the thing. Okay, so here's my issue. Everything they say about the skating thing doesn't make sense to me. So this thing that they go to is to test to see how good the competitors are. My assumption has always been that you have to go to it so they can see how good you are and you can take place in the thing. But they say it's optional, and he tells the rest of the Soul Skaters to just session and train, But Gabby has enough, and they go check it out, and sure enough, they see Brink there wearing X-Blades garb, and they go, this is the third act breakup, or middle of the movie breakup, because it's not quite third act. But here's the thing, Brink tells Val at the beginning of this, my friends find out I'm done. So they find out, he leaves, he's done, And then he has the gall to come up behind him and is like, the difference between me and them, you bailed on them and you bailed on me. The difference is, I'm willing to be your friend again. Oh, you mean I'm willing to make money off of you again? I'm just saying. Because here's the thing. They get $200 a week. $200 if they win, and $200 bonus if they do good enough. So keep that in mind. Val's already getting $200 a week. Plus, now he's got Brink. If they win because of Brink, he gets an extra $200 for winning, plus a bonus, which he does get because we see after they do good in the little trial competition thing, whatever they're called, the invitational, I think it's called. Which Dad did not think of invitational. Okay, so you invitation. I don't know. You don't have to be there to be in a competition, but I don't know. But yeah, which Brink gets a 97, by the way, which is from Val. I love that. You know, and I could imagine it in some way, some world, he and Val could be friends. Actually, I had an idea for 2 sequels. One where they go up against a new team, right? The second one is like a new team or something. And, or the sequel will have Val with a new team that's not X-Blades. And, you know, and they persevere over them. And then the third film will have a new Team X-Blades with a guy leading them who is worse than Val. And to combat them, they have to bring Val onto the Soul Skating team to win. Yeah. I would also have Jordy, who I barely mentioned this review, by the way, be taken out of the Soul Skaters for the second one in place of Boomer. And then in the third film, it is Peter who gets hurt. You know, because it makes sense because Peter is Brink's best friend, so he's the one that gets hurt. And in order to avenge his best friend, he's got to team up with his worst enemy. How does that for writing? Yes, sir. Anyway, and that was 3 films. And I had an idea for a stupid-ass spin-off where it's Katie. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just something I came up with. Something that Disney would do. You know, well, let's do a spin-off with the girl. Anyway, so the team is falling apart. Brink leaves Team X-Blades after throwing a chocolate shake in his face. It's chocolate. It is chocolate. And then Boomer stands up for Brink and leaves Team X-Blades. Okay, so here's another part of I don't understand the competition thing. So, when the Soul Skaters, the remaining 3 Soul Skaters, are talking about who they're going to have on their team, they said, let's bring in Benji. He's like, no, Benji's style is no good. And Peter says, well, we don't have to use him. We just need a 4th, and we can rotate out. No, because that's not what the competition is. Because I heard that, and I thought about it, like, no, that's not how the competition works. You each do your own thing. So if they had this Benji guy, whoever the hell that is, and he's not good, I feel like they would have lost completely because their plan wouldn't work. You get to choose one for the downhill. See, the competition is you do a street course, which is basically ramps all over the place and you got to run around, skate around, do the thing. A vert course, which is an invert ramp, a vert ramp, and you do that thing. And then you have the downhill, which is basically a hill you go down, right? I forgot a very important part of this fucking movie. So, while Brink is on a Team X-Blades, they go to check out the downhill course. But the Soul Skaters are also there. I completely forgot about this. So, Val, the mastermind that he is, says, hey, when we have a competition, one of us versus one of you. Soul Skaters pick Gabby, and Val, of course, picks Brink. And he tells them, stay on the inside of a turn or outside of a turn. One of the two. Whatever ones you don't do, that's what he wants them to do. Because he goes all the way down. He said, I'm going to go down to the end and make sure there's no cheating. But really, he's cheating because he throws gravel on one of the turns. So he tries to, Brink sees this, sees the gravel, tries to tell Gabby, but she doesn't listen. And she goes over the gravel, she falls down, she gets hurt. And she is currently injured at this point. Oh no, I didn't miss this because this was after he tries to get back into good graces. And then he goes back to Team X-Blades. That's right. He hasn't thrown the shake yet. Okay. I got ahead of myself. Yeah, because it's after this time. It wasn't me, you know. I'm willing to be defending. And he goes back, and Team X Blades, right? After talking to them, okay. They did start the conversation about Benji. That did happen here. But then we have the downhill thing, and this is where he's completely done. He goes to talk. He goes to see Gabby, but she's, doesn't want to see him, basically. The other two scoff him off. And then he has a conversation with his dad. And as a father myself, now, I get these conversations, He's looking over his old skates, and he says, I bought you for those when you were 5 or whatever. Of course, I didn't know it was going to take over your whole life. You never know what your kid's going to be obsessed with, My kid, at one point, wanted to be an astronaut. And when he was like 5, he said he wanted to be a football player. Oh, you get paid for my retirement. Okay. And then he's like, I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm like, what happened to be a football player and paying for my retirement? And my mom's like, he could still pay for your retirement if he's an astronaut. That's probably more money. Yeah. But it's safer to play football. You don't have to watch your son go into space. I'd rather have my son on this planet with me. Thank you. Anyway. Back to the damn movie. We're already 30 minutes in. I'm 31 minutes and 20 seconds. And I'm not done yet. So, let's see. Downhill. After his talk with his dad, that's when he decides he's done. Then he throws the chocolate shake in Val's face and walks off. He then shows up with the other 3 are sessioning. Well, 2 of them are. And when Peter goes to do a 540 again, he breaks his skate. But here comes Brink with some backup. Apparently he used paycheck money to become the sponsor for them for the skate competition, which never made any sense to me because it's supposed to be soul skaters, but they need a name, I guess. So Team Pup and Suds it is. And he paid it out. They become friends again. Like, did you really throw that vanilla? Did you really throw a vanilla shake in Val's face? It was chocolate. I don't know why I love it when he smiles. It was chocolate. It was cold and it was sweet. So it's time for the skating competition. Alright, so like I said, we have 3 different things. We have a street, we have vert, and we have downhill. Right? So everyone competes in the street and the vert parts. But then the 2 remaining teams pick 1 each to do the downhill course. Of course, you know who the 2 remaining teams are gonna be if you know a movie, right? So the street courses, had a thing. Brink does his. I love this exchange with him and Katie, right? So he does his street course, his street run, excuse me. And during it though, he messes up and he slips, and so he gets kind of a low. He gets an 89, which is not bad, but not what you want. You want to be up in the upper 90s, And then he sees his mom and Katie, and that's where his dad is. And his dad had to meet with his boss to see if he potentially have a job. It's good news, bad news, who knows? And Katie goes, Can I give you a tip? Skate better. Skate better. Skate better. Mom, skate better. Well, there you go. Skate better. Skate better. I don't know. I always love that. that reaction they had. Skate better. But, yeah. And so, yeah, they'll do good. It's time for the vert course. And he goes up to do his vert run. That's when the dad shows up. And he plays with the mom. He's like, well, talk with him. I got the job. She's like, yay! Oh, you scared me. He laughs. I love this actor. Rest in peace, man. He's a great father. He's not a TV dad, but he's a great. I don't think I've seen him in much other things. He was Sam. He was Sam in the Brady Bunch movie. Yeah, that's right. Sam the Butcher. He was Sam the Butcher in the Brady Bunch movie. Anyway, so you do the vert course, right? They're doing good. It's time for Peter to do his because his destiny is to do the inverted 540, which he does. It looks real good. Obviously, they're using stunt people to do the skate stunt, so they're going to have the actors actually do it. But, And of course, it comes down to Team Puppet Suds and Team X-Blades. They make it look, oh, we might not make it. And then this one guy messes up. We can win. And it's up to Peter to do the 540 to win this competition. He gets a 98. And he does his dance. Or whatever he does. And they move on to the final. So it's Team X-Blades and Team Puppet Suds. Of course, it's Brink and it's Val, right? And then we get the downhill course where something happens that I still don't understand why they had in this movie, okay? It calls back to earlier when someone gets hurt, Brink goes back and helps them, doesn't finish the race. So during this, they kind of start scuffling, but Val fakes getting hurt. And when Brink goes to help him, he grabs him, throws him down, and takes off. One of the camera guys says, "Did you get that?" "Yeah, I got it." So, you are led to believe that Val's going to win, but then they're going to call back to the tape, say he cheated, and award it to Team Puppet Suds. Right? No, because Brink does the thing that he called out earlier when they were at the downhill course and he was scoping out. He's like, some way into that driveway right there, it would be a cool jump. It would be fun. So he does that, which Gabrielle yells out, my move? My move? No, you came up with that, not you. Shut up. Anyway, she's like, my move. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's never your move. He's the one to come up with that. But anyway, so Brink wins by like a hair, and there's all this celebration. My thought was that this was originally, they had a different ending where Val won but was called out for cheating. But Brink going back to save someone was already a big part of the film, and they didn't want to take it out, so they kept it. But having that in the movie and having someone go, "Did you catch that? Yeah, I caught it." To me, it feels like they were setting up an ending where Val still won. Where Val won, but they showed the footage of him cheating. So all we get from that is people yelling, "You cheater! Cheater! You cheated! Cheater!" Yeah. And then Jimmy's like, "Oh, I didn't know he was going to do that. You cheated." Val's out. You're in. If you want to be the leader of Team X-Blades, which he says, I was on Team X-Blades. It wasn't any fun, so he says no. Although, there could be another ending where it's like, okay, I'll do it if my friends get to come with me. That would get the other three out of a job. And like the other three who were picking, or the other two, I don't know who the fourth guy in Team X-Blades is for this competition. It's not Boomer's in the audience. And another thing, like with Boomer turns on Val like that for no reason, other than he wants to stand up to Brink. But leading up to this, there is no hint he would do that. It just happens because we need it to happen. Yeah. Boomer wasn't going to be in a fun competition anyway, but I would have loved it if, because Gabby was hurt, she wasn't going to be able to make the thing, and Boomer joined Team Puppet Suds. But obviously, it does make sense if Gabby's still able to do it, although her injuries are completely gone, despite the fact that, she was in a sling a few days before. They said she can't skate till the competition, so, So, Team Puppet Suds wins, right? Yay! Celebration. The dad's happy now. Oh, well, I think I forgot to mention. Because at the beginning of the movie, he's like, no one should be that happy all the time. And then when he is sulky before he goes out to talk to him in the garage, like, no one should be that unhappy all the time. And even the mom calls him out. She's like, weren't you just complaining that he was too happy? Well, yeah, but I was hoping he'd find a medium. Or he'd settle somewhere in the middle. But, yeah, guys, what else can I give this movie? But, to the moon! That was a little weird. But yeah, I love this movie. Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's my favorite Disney Channel original movie. Decom, whatever we want. And with that, we have ended Dis-Cember 2023 with an almost 40-minute review of Brink. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on Brink? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. By the way, it's like the second week. Let's see, what day is it? It is the 17th. It is the 17th of November right now that I'm recording this. So, this is the first time that I've actually finished a monthly review thing. A theme month. There it is. Before the month even started. It's the first time that's happened. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.